report. We have to do a recap before we get to before we get to the forecast, if you will. So I know I haven't seen you guys in a few days, so my apologies. Life's been life, and I'm really trying to get some things in order in my schedule. My schedule has been like nonstop transformation, transformation, transformation. Every time I think I got a sense of stability, here go another transformation. So please bear with me. So I try to keep some level of stability somewhere with something. I'm working on it. I'm figuring it out. Um, so I don't think I have seen you guys. Um, I don't think I've seen you guys since like the knife. So let's get started with the knife, y'all. So, well, rewind on the 8th because for some reason I feel like I haven't seen you guys then either. Well, no, I think I did. But on the 8th we had the Leo moon. So that moon was all about confidence and courageousness. Peace, peace, Adonis, peace to God. That moon was all about being confident and courageous, tapping into your creative self, your inner child work, the paternal lineage energy, all of that fun stuff. You had the moon and Regulus in alignment, aligning your nurturing self to the space of riches and royalty and all those things, we like to manifest in our space that makes us feel good and confident. Eros entered Pisces energy, so entering in that dreamy like stance in the space of love and what you want in a relationship, really imagining those things in your space, gravitating to them in your vortex, and also like bringing certain things to a close when it comes to your love. Some of you guys have been having like karmic patterns in your love life, and Pisces is all about bringing things to a close as well. So not only does it open up dreams, it also reveals like things that's been hidden beneath the horizon so that they can come to a close. Now, if you don't want them to come to a close, Pisces also rules over karmic relationships and things like that. So, you may be just like reopening the cycle, into Aries season. It's your world. Do you think? But let's get into 4-9. 9 is the number of completion, wholeness, utopia, being philanthropic. 9 is that Sagittarian energy of being the philosopher, the giver. Hey Jessica, hey Charles. um 9 deals with joy. 9 deals with Yesod and the tree of life. This is the moon, Cancer moon energy, giving birth in supreme mathematics, or Yesod or Sagittarius. So 9 was the day to give birth to the things that you wanted in your space. Now, day of the week wise, 9 was on a day of Eshu, so it was on a Wednesday, on a day of communication, the crossroads, you know, working on, your daily routine, your more integral code. So Wednesday was a day you may have been giving birth to something, that's in alignment with, what you want to learn, what you want to speak on, teaching, um, manifesting into like a daily routine or a habitual sense. That would have been a cool thing to do on the 9. You take that day of 9, you put it into the month of 4. This is the month of Chesed, right? This is the month of, giving grace. 4 is the number of stability, culture and freedom and supreme mathematics is the 4. 4 deals with Cancer. This is nurturing energy. Coming into your emotional self, what you need to be nurtured, how you would like to nurture others, things like that. 4 also deals with, I said Chesed, right? Ruled by Jupiter. This is when we get into the realms of Mayat. This is Neptune energy here as well, getting into your dreamy subconscious self, creating that divine blueprint, that celestial blueprint in your space. So you guys should be coming to some realms of creating some type of law and order for yourself, which is in divine alignment. We'll talk about the Libra pink moon momentarily, but let this the full moon is actually like the mid checkpoint between new moon to new moon, which marks a whole cycle, right? So when we add a full moon, that means we're 50% through the cycle. So let this, Libra full moon, this sense of balance, law, justice, truth, and righteousness, assist you guys if you guys haven't already started working on your internal mayat, what I'm saying, your internal law and order. So we're going to take that 9 of giving birth, put it into that energy of 4, that brings 13. That's the karmic energy, what I'm saying. Um, it's karmic because in this realm, everybody wants everybody to, it's a lot of like societal control. You know what I'm saying? We used to do it with the different superstitions because we didn't want people to behave a certain kind of way. So we had superstitions, we had Aesop fables, we had songs. Now we have the internet, we have television, where we keep people at a certain state of mind so we can control their behavior, how they act, how they communicate. what they're learning about, how they're speaking to one another, you know what I'm saying? And so it's karmic because anybody that goes outside of, you know, what it is that's being forced on as a collective, like that herd mentality type shit, which is the realm of Pisces, right? Being in the age of Pisces, it was all about being the school of fish, right? All the fish, you know, swimming together. But when you get into this age of Aquarius, now it's about individuality. Now it's about uniqueness. Now it's about, you know, standing out and still being a part of the we, right? It's the me and the we at the same time. So you see more people coming out and being themselves, whatever that may look like. Everybody is unique. Everybody is being their own person. You know what I'm saying? It's less about that school of fish all swimming together. But you know, it's always equal opposite energies. Still energies out here still fighting to keep people on that space. You know what I'm saying? And so we have that karmic energy. I see you guys in the comments. Just give me 1 minute. Let me get through these numbers, y'all. You have that karmic energy, like taking action on how you feel, expressing what you know, being that cardinal leadership energy in your creations and stuff is very scary because people looking at you like, how dare you think you can create this? How dare you think you can initiate that? Boo boo wop wop. You know, how do you think people felt about the person that created the internet, or, you know, the stoplight, or, you know, the first airplane? Like, they thought they were crazy. Like, you're crazy for doing what you're doing, how you're doing it. And it's always gonna be like that. You know, it's been like that since biblical times. Noah building the ark and people like, you crazy. You know what I'm saying? What you building that boat for? What you build? Well, what are you building the ark for? What are you building that for? You know what I'm saying? So it's like being in your 13, defeating that 13 is a big thing. You know what I'm saying? So 1 and 3 come together and make 4, still, you know, bringing you into that space of, you know, equality, freedom, foundation, chesed, the divine blueprint. So when you express that 13, it's going to have a nice foundation. We build things on the 4, right? With bricks and squares. We love it here. It's sturdy there, right? So we're going to take that 4 and we're going to put it into the year of 9, you know, so we get the opportunity to experience 4, 9, and 13 twice on Wednesday. 2 times on Wednesday we had the 4, 9, 13, 4, 9, 13, right? You know, you guys know we're in the year of Yesod. We're in the year of Sagittarius energy. We're in the year of giving birth, focusing on our reproductive organ, our sacral chakra, you know, our ability to produce, bringing things into completion, wholeness, fulfillment. There's no number greater than 9. So we're in a space of generosity, optimism. This is the year of Jubilee. We're all aware of that, right? So everything we do, we're going to put it into the year of 9. And so overall, Wednesday was a day of 4, creating that foundation, the equality, the freedom. You know, Wednesday was a great day. I had a great day on Wednesday. I went to the Small Business Expo. Shouts to the Small Business Expo. That was a great time. And you know what? Yeah, that was a great day of 4. That was a great, great day of 4. All right, so let me get to y'all in the comments. I see y'all going in. Hey, Razzle Dazzle, peace to the God. Hey, Maria. Hey, Jessica. My day is going very well. Hope your day is going well, too. I'm trying to refocus myself, you know. Peace to you, Maria. How about your brother? Peace, peace. You know, may you and your tribe find some sense of, there's a certain way of bringing people out, taking people out. Like when people ascend, you know what I'm saying? Just remember that person came around. You don't really die. No energy is created or destroyed. It's just transmuted. So, you know, keep in mind where that energy is being transmuted to, and move in joy that you got to experience the personified version of that energy. Ashe? Princess. Peace to you, God. The same thing. No energy is created or destroyed. It's just transmuted. So you're in the process of transformation. Your energy is being transmuted, and that's okay. You take some breaths. You set your intentions for how you want your next chapter to go. You know what I'm saying? And I know it's scary because it's like an unknown space. I could only imagine. You know what I'm saying? Well, I've been in certain situations that have put me in a certain mindset of, you know, you got to just take a breath, because that's one thing that is guaranteed to us is the ability to ascend. Nothing else is guaranteed, and nothing here is permanent. So, you know, you are the only infinite. Your energy is the only thing that is infinite. So stay in good energy. And peace to you, Princess. Peace. Sorry, I've been MIA. Mad love. No worries, Kai. I'm always glad when you return. It's always love when you come back. Happy full moon to you. How you been? Is everything okay? You good? You good? Refocus. Yes, you got this. Yes, I'm working on the refocus. You know, I'm just going through emotional invocations. Emotional invocations. I try not to get sideswiped too hard. It's bringing my inner mean person out, that I don't want to be mean. I don't want to be angry anymore. And it's like, oh, I don't want to get into it. I don't want to get into it right now with y'all. And so it's just certain patterns are returning, and it's like, look, Mercury's on prograde again. Look at your patterns returning. Yeah, you're right. I just want to do it different this time. Stop being so fucking angry. Whew. All right, so getting into the astrological astronomical report on the ninth, on the Wednesday, we were at an 86% waxing gibbous moon, so we're still in that moon of building tangible things in our space. We were now in a Virgo moon energy, so it was Virgo in the tropical and draconic, so mind and soul was on nurturing the habits, routine, moral, and integral code, while our energy exchanges were on nurturing that inner child with that Leo energy. It was all happening in the ninth house. So finding joy, generosity, optimism, abundance, all of that was heavy there. Sunrise at 6:30 a.m. Setting was at 7:32 p.m. We were in Aries and Pisces with the sun. We are coming to a close with the Pisces sun. We have on the ninth, it was like 5 more days because we are at 25 degrees Pisces. So I'll get into that later. I'm too far in the future, y'all. My bad. So mind and soul was on new beginnings, being motivated, taking action, while the soul is still in that space of closings and the spiritual connection and all those different things. AM visibility of the Pisces constellation began on Wednesday. Venus was stationary and began this prograde motion at 8 p.m. Venus is sitting there on the tropical, Vedic, and draconic Pisces energy. So mind, body, and soul of the heart chakra is still in that dreamy subconscious energy. Um, that space of closings, hidden agenda, the sixth sense is coming through people's hearts. So learn how to tap into that. Mars enters Draconic Leo at 1 p.m. So the soul part of the solar plexus chakra is in that confident, courageous realm, being motivated and feeling ambitious towards the creative self, and the inner child energy as well as the paternal energy is heavy there too. So that's fun there. Got some transits and big things happening for the heart and the solar plexus, and I'm sure you guys felt that in your inner motivational self. Remember, Mars is still in the constellation of Cancer, so while the mind, the thought process, and the soul is already over there opening doors with that fire planet being in that fire sign, your actual energy exchanges and events is still in that introspection, emotional, slow and steady, because you know what water does to fire. So give your body and give the physical experience some grace and some time, because while a lot of these planets are, your mind and your spirit are in fire and making things happen and getting things going, your energy exchanges, events and stuff are still slow and steady and spiritual and more in a dreamy like state. We're still in that space of meditating and manifesting and grounding and doing that kind of work. But the blend of the two is really cool because for one, your mind is heavy on visualizing the spaces you're going to be at, how your energy is going to feel and stuff like that, because it's already in that fire. Two, your spirit is already in those rooms, opening up those windows and doors for you. And so, being present in the events, you just got to take a breath, you know, take a nap, do some meditation, and just take the time to imagine it with whatever processes that you imagine it. So you guys do bath. Some of y'all do fire watching. Some of you guys like to do the crystals, the tarot. Some of y'all like to go outside and hug a tree. It's whatever you need to do. That's all, in that space. Also, realize that a lot of things are coming to a close in the space and time with the Pisces energy. And with it coming to a close, it's like a lot of doors and windows are closing for you. A lot of things are being cut off. A lot of things are getting real. Like, why can't I hold on to all these things? You got to remember, Pisces is all about snipping stuff off before we get into that Aries energy, before Mars gets into that Leo, zodiac, constellation and stuff like that. So give yourself grace, let the things come to a close, to an end. Take a breath and trust. It's fun there. So on Thursday, hey, can you please pray for me right now? Because I've been trying to go to the doctors and they said that I'm dying this week. Peace, peace, King Donis. Oh, hey, y'all. Hey, y'all. Everybody saying hi to each other in the chat. Well, peace to you, princess. Giving you some words, some energy, I don't know about dying this week. That's pretty concrete for certain. Breathing life into you. If that's not what you want, that's not what you desire, may you continue. um, you have the power to manifest what it is that you want in your space. What do you want? Breathe that in. All right, so we're going to talk about the day of 10. Arms a little bit. If you want a personal, you can talk about it. So on the day of 10, 10 is cool because 10 is the connection of being rooted upward and the ketters with the 1 and being rooted downward in 10 and Jeb, right? So we're being rooted, in the physical and in the spiritual realm at the same time. Divine alignment with you, princess, yes, sending you high vibes, sending you love, peace, and healing, definitely. So we have that space of taking action, taking initiative, getting our knowledge and our intellect. One is the ketters as far as getting your knowledge from like your auric self. You know what I'm saying? Like this ain't even a part of the physical chakras. This is the gateway between, before we even get to the physical. You know what I'm saying? This is where we get the downloads, the gateway and then to the downloads before you get to the next, level. Um but when we are dealing with the 1, we're also dealing with Aries Ogun energy, right? Because that's what rules over the first house. This is taking initiative. This is action energy. This is cardinal leadership vibes, being aggressive, assertive, what motivates you, what triggers you, what gets you going, right? So we're going to take that 1 and put it into the energy of Chesed, giving it a grace, freedom, culture, foundation, right? 4 is nurturing energy of Cancer, home and family, the maternal energy. This is definitely the month for tapping into your inner, feminine. Um, and like I said, the divine blueprint. I'm gonna keep telling y'all. I hope y'all are making y'all auric rules. I've been doing reading, and that was another thing that made me getting into. I I'm a I do readings on this website now, so it's like when I get off of teaching, then I come home and I do the readings and the homeschooling and stuff like that. So I haven't been here, but I've been telling a lot of people that have been coming onto that platform to get a reading from me, like, you guys should be doing your divine blueprint rules, a lot of people that are coming to me right now are coming to me about things, and as we go through it, because some of this stuff I do not need tarot cards for, and y'all know I don't. But as we go deeper and deeper, it's like you guys are going against some boundaries that you deserve, and it's a lot of people like, I never thought about it like that. I never thought to sit there and be like so intentional, precise about my boundaries. Yes, yes. When you were in school, when you go, every teacher had their own classroom rules, right? And then every school you went to, you open up the agenda book, they had no, I don't need cards. You're absolutely right, Adonis. I do not need cards. um the cards are my backup singers. They always have been. You go into the agenda book. The agenda book has, classroom rules. I've been watching these kids in classrooms. They pledge allegiance to a flag and they pledge allegiance to a government and stuff like that. They don't understand, but they're doing it because they're being conditioned to do it. Then after they get done doing that, they're pledging allegiance to the school code. And it's like you get conditioned to do all of this stuff, and you never dawn on you to do that for yourself. Every morning you should have a pledge allegiance to yourself. What is your allegiance to yourself? What is that mantra that you wake up? Make yourself a little poem and look at some put a little collage on the wall of the different parts of you, the different facets of you. And now AI has this thing now where you can do like older pictures of you. Put some future pictures of you too. Put them up there. Right there, put your hand over your heart, whatever you want to do. Pledge your allegiance. You know what I'm saying? Do your thing. That's something that you should have for you. You should have a divine blueprint for yourself. What do you want for yourself? What kind of lifestyle do you want to live? And even after you have it, doesn't mean stop. Don't get so comfortable that you forget how to move in appreciation and gratitude and in the frequency to maintain it. You know what I'm saying? That's something that a lot of people do too. That's why a lot of people could say, oh, I had all of this and then I lost it. And then I had it again and I lost it. Why'd you lose it? Because you fell out of the frequency that helped you get it in the first place. You know what I'm saying? So never lose that frequency. Never lose that flow. What about allegiance to your inner being? Right. Right. We taught to be in allegiance to all these different things outside of us that we don't fully understand. That once we start to understand, we realize we don't really support, and then we still never come into ourselves about it. It's just like, I don't like this, I don't like that, I don't like that. And like I'll be telling y'all before, you ever go somewhere and just say all the stuff you don't want on your sandwich? Does that get your sandwich made? No. because nobody knows what you want on your sandwich. You go into Subway and be like, I don't want that, I don't want that, I don't want that. Well, what do you want? I can't make you a sandwich with what you don't want. You know what I'm saying? So, having that kind of mindset is definitely key too. Especially for yourself, that's a great way to give yourself grace. Instead of always telling yourself what you don't want, start telling yourself what you do want. Start moving towards that, putting that in your frequency. Because putting what you don't want in your frequency still puts those things in your frequency, so you're still going to attach them. And I spoke that word on the 111. So listen, indoctrination to make self blaze, right? So yeah, on that 410, we came into a 5, right? So now we're in that space of enforcement. So you had the knowledge, you had the divine blueprint. So now you're in the space of enforcing that, right? 5 deals with Hero Kahuti. This is the Ogun energy, right? This is the celestial enforcer enforcing that divine blueprint that you got from the knowledge. 5 also deals with Leo energy. This is the confidence and courageous self. For 5 in Supreme Mathematics brings you into adventures, satisfying your curiosity, stuff like that. Of course, we want to give birth to that because that's knowledge, and we created a blueprint with it, and then we enforced it. So, of course, we want to give birth to it in the year of 9. We want to nurture it in the energy of Yesod. We want it to be abundant and expanded in that 9 Sagittarius Jupiter energy, right? So we do. And when we put it into the 9 is like, okay, you can have the 5, but you're going to have the 5 back in the 1 and 4. So now you have this, this knowledge of your blueprint. You have to have that intellect. You have to act on the blueprint. You have to be the cardinal energy on your blueprint if you want to stay in that 5, and that confident and courageous self. If you want to have that solar plexus chakra balance, right? And I told you guys about the power of having a balanced solar plexus chakra is learning to control yourself instead of trying to control other people, places, things, situations, and ideas outside of yourself. And when I talk to y'all, I promise I'm talking to myself because Jesus Christ. But you have to learn how to control yourself and, have that sense of confidence and courageousness in yourself. You know what I'm saying? Have that sense of trust and faith in yourself. And then everything outside of stuff will just fall into place because that's what you're putting in your frequency, right? So that Thursday was the day of 5, that day of joy and generosity. We were still in that Virgo moon, so we were in that moon of organization and scheduling, getting things in order if you felt that, you know what I'm saying? The sun is still in Aries, Pisces energy. Mercury and Saturn were at minimal angle. At 11:38, Mercury was 2 degrees north-northeast. Both of them sitting in that Pisces, Aquarius. Pisces energy for the most part. So in that dreamy subconscious realm, dealing with some challenges that are coming to your interpersonal spaces. Mercury also deals with patterns. So patterns of different issues coming back. You might have seen like, bro, here the fuck we go again. What are we doing right now? Like, so it's just like an opportunity to see if you're going to solve that issue the same way you solved it the first few times you went through it. Giving you an opportunity to do it different, you know what I'm saying? Rise above it, gain strength from it this time around, whatever, what have you. The moon is at descending node at 3:59 p.m. Sappho entered the Aries zodiac at 1:10 p.m. So new beginnings on how you woo individuals with your communication and lyrical self. And then Pholus goes in retrograde. Pholus went in retrograde on Thursday, and it's at 11 degrees Capricorn zodiac. So it's at it's like in the fixed degree. No, yeah, it's in the fixed degree of Sagittarius constellation. So Pholus is the asteroid that kind of like expands things to make it worse. It's kind of like a catastrophic asteroid where it's like that clumsy asteroid, and when it's around other beings, everybody starts tripping and falling. It's like a domino effect. It's a little clumsy over there, and it's moving a whole lot slower. So we give grace to my clumsy people in the back. And it's in that space of Capricorn, which is success and achievement. So all the hiccups and the tripping over and the Murphy's Law shit and all that stuff is slowing down. And we move in gratitude as we try to get some things in order, preparing ourselves for this Aries energy and getting into action. Me, I used to be really clumsy. I've gotten a whole lot better. Something about getting hit by a car does something to you. I'm way more careful than I used to be. So I'm not as clumsy as I once was. But yeah, I used to get real clumsy, and I used to have the spirit of time. I think the moon was somewhere doing something. It was just a pattern. It got to the point where I was just like, oh, this is one of my clumsy days. I'm having another clumsy day again. But that's what happened on the day of 5. Again, we had some major conjunctions, repeating some challenges. Have you guys seen any repetitive situations coming back? You know what I'm saying? Like, what the hell? You again? This again? What the fuck again? Yeah, that's definitely Mercury and Saturn. But we give grace to like and thanks that Pholus is going in retrograde to, so we can solve that without tripping over our feet, right? Yesterday was Friday, the Venus day. Happy belated holy day. We love it there. 11 was a day of mastery on that Venusian day. Um, yeah, I'm like, what didn't I learn? Yeah, definitely. Same here. It's just like, okay, okay. I don't know what I'm doing incorrectly for this to be happening again, and now I'm angry at myself. And it's like I know that that's a pattern too, so I have to stop being angry. Or maybe I should try not to be angry, or what am I supposed to do with that anger? I don't know. Figuring it out. Um, but yeah, we're in a day of mastery. That's when you like master yourself and do so well for yourself and get yourself in order so well that it becomes an inspiration to other people, right? So we're going to take that day of 11 and put it into the chest at the month of the divine blueprint, because of course we want to create a blueprint for that sense of mastery, right? When I'm doing myself so well, when I know how to take care of myself, when I know how to nurture myself, motivate myself, get things going and finished, and all those different things like that, of course I want to create a divine blueprint for that. Of course I want to put that in my subconscious and gravitate to that always. You know what I'm saying? I want that in my subconscious. I don't want it just in my short-term memory. I want that transmuted into whatever neuron situation it needs to be in my long-term memory as well. You know what I'm saying? Um, and long-term memory is permanent. That's the infinite database. You know what I'm saying? So that's what we're dealing with when we're dealing with the four. We're dealing with the deep part of your neurological self, and that brings us to 1 and 5. So now we have the knowledge and acting on the enforcer, right? Of course, why not take an initiative to act on the enforcement of that divine blueprint, which brings us to 6. We're putting that into our health, wellness, daily routine, our moral integral code. We're putting it in our tipperef, which is our heart that is on fire, right? Um, our confidence and courage yourself, our inner child, our patrilineal, selves, all that fun stuff. 5 also, 6, because 1 and 5 equals 6. I went back to 5. My bad. But 6 deals with Tipperef is Virgo energy, and it's equality and supreme mathematics. So what you put into it is also what you get out of it. So, being mindful of that. So we take that 6, and of course we want to give birth to it in the 9 in the Asad. We want to nurture it. We want to give life to it. We want it to become something. We want to put it in our sacral chakra. We want to find joy in our 6s, right? This is the year to find joy in everything you do. If there's something going on, if you're engaging in something and it's not bringing you joy and it's not bringing you optimism and it's stressing you out and it's doing all these things, please get rid of it in this year 9. Otherwise, you're going to repeat that pattern back into the year 1. And 1 is associated with Aries energy. That's going to be in the space of anger and triggers and all that stuff like that. And you're just going to put yourself right back into that space, right back into that 9-year cycle of dealing with that shit again. So just take a breath. So we're gonna put the 6 into the 9, and the 9 is like, yeah, of course you can have that 6. You're gonna have it on a 1 and 5. You have to have intellect. You have to take action on that solar plexus chakra. You know what I'm saying? That's how you're gonna get to that 6. That's how you're gonna have that daily routine, that moral and integral code. That's how you're gonna learn. That's how you're gonna teach. That's how you're gonna listen and speak. That's how you're gonna communicate and express. You know what I'm saying? By really taking action on that solar plexus chakra, and it's fun there, right? Astrologically happening, we have Virgo and Virgo constellation in opposition with the sun, because now the sun is at like let me do the math, 23, 24, 25, 26, 27. Yeah, because now the sun is at 27 degrees Pisces. I should have grabbed a pen. Yeah, but now the sun is at 27 degrees Pisces, so Virgo constellation is in the spotlight. It was best visible after midnight. So that wherever the sun is at, the earth is in opposition. So the earth is having this Virgo, Virgo physical realm, while the experiences of that Virgo energy is in Pisces is dreamy and subconscious, like, what I'm saying, things coming out, as you get into your moral and integral code. Other people's moral and integral code is being revealed and relieved. The moon and Parima were also in conjunction. At 7:41 p.m., the moon is 4.7 degrees south, minimal angle at 3:55 p.m. The moon is 4.1 degrees south southwest. Observe at 8:25 p.m. with a 4.9 degrees separation. So you also have the moon sitting over there in the Virgo constellation. Parima is the star of prophecies. So basically, prophecy is pretty self-explanatory. It's coming to your third eye. You should have been paying attention to your emotions and how you felt yesterday, because that is gravitating to what is to come. You know what I'm saying? So, um, you got it. So today is the 12th. Happy ones and twos today. Not today's a day of knowledge and wisdom, which brings us understanding, right? We exercise that knowledge that we have. We love it here, and once you come to a space of understanding, it's like you're at a space of conclusion from the results. The observations and things. We move in gratitude. 3 is the day of creation, expression, maybe an emotional day. It is a Saturn day under the energy of Bina, which is also a 3, right? 3 also deals with Gemini energy. Community and communication is heavy here too. The goal is to find a focus. Shalom, peace to the God. Um, the goal is to find a focus amongst the different directions with the Gemini air energy, right? We know that. And 3 can be very adventurous and all over the place. The goal is to find the sense of homeostasis in the middle. So we're going to take that 3 of creation and emotion and put it into the month of 4. Chess is the divine blueprint, because of course we want to create a sense of, law and order with our knowledge and our wisdom and our sense of understanding behind it. It does affect how we move. 3 is Saturn energy, which rules over our root chakra. You know what I'm saying? So a lot of things that we do, or we are, is from our sense of understanding. That's why when you get into the law of the things, the first thing they say to you is, do you understand? Do you understand? Do you understand what I'm saying? Even people who subconsciously say that shit know that they're speaking spells over you. And if you say, yes, I understand, you are agreeing to stand under what they say. I can't do it. I be trying to, I communicate out of that. I comprehend what you're saying. I heard you. I'm not standing under shit. Even if it's something that I agree with, you know what I'm saying? I'm not gonna stand under it, because no, that's just how I am. I don't like being told what to do. I don't like nobody feeling like I'm under their wing, or I'm your little nigga, or I'm your constituent, or I'm your whatever. I'm not beneath anybody. To say I'm beneath you is to say there's even a comparison, and I'm not in comparison to anybody on anything, on any plane, on any level. And that's not an insult to anybody else. But you're not going to insult me either. You know what I'm saying? I don't stand under nothing or nothing. So soon somebody fix their mouth to talk to me like that, it's okay, that's what you want to do. I just voted for you, fam, on orbit. Good luck. Oh, thank you. People don't believe when I say that shit. No, I don't understand shit. I don't understand shit. I don't stand under nothing y'all be talking about. And you always feel the energy of something. Anybody who feels the need to ask you if you understand, after they get done saying what they saying, they know what they doing. Even if they don't know the exact spell or whatever, they know what the fuck they doing when they ask you if you understand. That's a power play. It's definitely a power play. And I don't like it. And the majority of people that I say is the people with the ugly ass uniforms on, or people sitting in that courtroom, and they know what they doing. Even if they spirit know what the fuck they doing. I'm not standing under nothing y'all talking about. I don't care who you are. But the days of understanding, the letters CLU are on the forefront for the day. And then we're in that month of Chesed, which is the divine blueprint that we're going to create with our level of understanding, which brings us to 7. 7 is the spiritual number. 7 is Netzach, which is the celestial designer. Designing the things in our space, making it all nice and pretty. 7 also deals with the interpersonal relationships, bonds, and contracts. Now we're coming into Libra energy, pre-gaming ourselves for that Libra full pink moon that we got coming up, right? 7 also deals with spirituality. This is God and supreme mathematics. So when we're in numerology room with the 7, it's you go very inward to the space of hermit mode, and you're just really learning yourself. It's really just a matter of going inward and being very spiritual in that space. So of course we want to give birth to that 7. I want to give birth to equal bonds and contracts, interpersonal relationships. I want them to be healthy. So if you want them to be healthy, really pay attention to your knowledge, wisdom, and understanding, and how you are creating a blueprint for that today. Because you can give birth to a 7, but that don't mean that's the 7 that you want. That 7 could be imbalanced. You know what I'm saying? That 7 could be you giving more than you receiving. That 7 could be you taking more than you're giving. And then in some other space or time, that's actually hindering you from certain experiences and certain opportunities you're supposed to have. You know what I'm saying? Certain choices you're supposed to make. People think that when they take more than they give, that they're actually getting over, and no, you're not. You know, it just closes other doors and windows for you that you actually wanted, but because you don't have the capacity, the strength, or the experiences to have those things, because you're too busy taking over here over and over again, you know what I'm saying, you didn't put in the work. You don't get that now. You know what I'm saying? So keep that in mind when you feel like you're winning because you're receiving more than you're giving. You're really not in the long run. um and then when we design stuff in our space, sometimes people have shitty handwriting. They're not designing pretty things. You know what I'm saying? So please make sure you're understanding in that celestial blueprint, that you align with your space of understanding and creation and emotions and stuff like that is righteous, so you can have the 7 that you deserve. So it can be balanced how you want it to be. You know what I'm saying? Of course, we want to give birth to that 7. You know what I'm saying? But like I said, please pay attention to the 7, y'all. We was just in a detail-oriented Virgo moon. Like, just bask in that for like a couple seconds, because we're still in the Virgo moon on the Vedic scale. And even though this is supposed to be a Libra moon on tomorrow, it's still a Virgo moon, and because we'll still be in Virgo constellation. But I'll get into that with you in a moment. Anyway, we still in Virgo moon, y'all. It's still Virgo events happening, even though our mindset is on Libra. All right. So we're still in that space of organization. We're still in that space of paying attention to the details of the things. You know what I'm saying? Don't get caught up in the details. Don't be over analytical. Don't overthink it. But still, you know what I'm saying? Pay attention. You know, um, having that balance. That's the gem of being a Virgo, or even the Gemini energy. Anything Mercurian or mercurial is having that sense of balance, because that is the energy of the crossroads, right? That's Eshwa, that's Elegwa, any type of crossroad, any type of decision making, all that fun stuff. It's fun there, right? So, yeah, we have that moon there. And so today is actually a day of 7. So when we put the 7 into the 9 is like, yeah, you can have that 7, but you're gonna have it on a 1 and 6, right? So now we have to take action. We have to have that knowledge on our health, wealth, and wellness daily routine, our wellness tarot code, what we're learning on, our habitual self, all that fun stuff. So that's how you're gonna get that 7. That Virgo energy is gonna help you get that 7. So having that mindset and that spiritual set, being in tropical and draconic Libra, have those energy exchanges and events of Virgo to help you do that. You know what I'm saying? 7, the letter 7 deals with the letter 7. The number 7 deals with the letters G, P, and Y. And of course, I'm gonna go into the Netherus because I haven't seen you guys in a while. I'm gonna do this the right way. I want to do this the right way. Alright, this is Het Heru, or Nethet in Comedic. Canaanite is Hanael, and the Kabbalah is Netzach, and the Yoruba is Oshun, and Hindu Kush is Kamala Nika. Kamala. The seventh sphere, or the seventh Sephiroth, the planet is Venus, and Venus energy is ruled by the Friday. So those guys born on a Friday, you guys might feel the energy of today. The colors for today is green and yellow. I got my yellow on. You know what's crazy? My waist beads broke this morning. I was hurt. I was like, damn, gotta stop eating snacks. um, the gems is diamond and zircon, white or rose, and white coral. As far as the herbalism goes, in the bath is yellow roses, honeysuckle, calendula flowers, maiden tear, parsley, vetiver, spearmint, and sandalwood. The oils is rose, sandalwood, honeysuckle, and cinnamon. The incense is the same as the oil, so y'all smelling good today, because yellow roses and honeysuckle. I love calendula too. Calendula, like if you guys are smokers, that's definitely something that you can put into your blunt. Calendula brings energy and like mindset calming or whatever. The spiritual words of power is cling, and the direction is southwest. The planetary is on, drain, dream, drong, and the mundane direction for that is the north. As far as the personality portfolio, like the energy 7 has on your animal spirit, some positive emotional traits is being sociable, affectionate, pleasure loving, quiet, harmonious, joyful, sweet, engaging, flexible, sympathetic, graceful, mercy, and cheerful. Some negative traits are being sensually aberrated, shameless, timorous, neglectful, lewd, idle, wasteful, craving drugs, alcohol, being immoral, motivated by fantasies and empty forms, like being illogical or irrational, spendthrift, fearful, careless, and narcissistic. Some mental traits is congregative thinking, the imagination, use of metaphors, myths, and stories to explain. Social correspondences are careers, functions, entertainers, artists, young women, beauty, clothing, pleasure, and adornment industries, because that's all Venusian energy is, making things pretty, right? The arousal of the life force, which is chi, ra, kundalini, through joy and pleasure, especially when ecstatic, provides the motive force for the accomplishment of our minor goals and the vitalization of the will. Unfortunately, most people are ignorant of this fact and suppress their joyfulness, waiting for success, or overindulge their passions and never know why they have so much difficulty carrying out their will, concentrating, etc. Let me read that again. Unfortunately, most people ignorant of this fact of rising their joy, kundalini, their raw and joy for accomplishment, right? So if you arouse your life force, let me break it down again. I don't know why I feel like I need to read that again. Somebody over there just came in or something. And the arousal of your life force through joy and pleasure, especially when you're ecstatic, provides the motive force for the accomplishment of your minor goals and vitalization of the will. All right. Most people are ignorant of this and suppress their joy, waiting for success or overindulge in their passions and never know why they have so much difficulty carrying out their will or concentrating because you are suppressing your joy. You're not having joy in what you're doing. It's not a good time. You've suppressed your joy, and your joy is it assists the life force in carrying out your will. If it's not joyful, why are you doing it? Why are you doing it? Why do you think, what kind of energy do you think that you're putting in your electromagnetic force, your electromagnetic field? If you continuously, and some of you guys on a daily basis, are engaging in things that don't bring you joy, they make you angry, they make you sad, they make you lonely, they make you hurt, they make you all these things, and you keep putting that energy in your force field. And what do you think that that's attracting? Do you think that's attracting the things that you say that you want? If you are take the time out, so from Monday through Saturday, you're just angry. You're at this job, you hate this job, you're angry, you're just doing a bunch of stuff that doesn't bring you joy. You're in this relationship you don't want, your kids stress you out, you're not finding joy in parenting, you sit online and you scroll all day, you argue with people, just all these things, right? And then you get into peace to you and your dog, Kai. And then you get come Sunday, you want to pray and you want to meditate. And you want to meditate on something that brings you joy. All week long your frequency wasn't here. And then after you get done praying and meditating for those couple hours, whether you do it in a mosque, a temple, a church, at home, outside, at an event, whatever, wherever you want to do it at, it's your world, your bedroom, the shower, or you take a bath on Sundays, whatever it is you do. Some of you guys do it on Saturday, on the Sabbath. Some of you guys prefer Venus. Some of you guys just do it on a new moon and a full moon. But then you go ahead and spend the rest of that cycle back in that frequency of anger and pain and sadness and loneliness and stress and overwhelming. You're not putting yourself in the frequency that you have to be to attract the things that you want. When you're meditating and you're visualizing the things that you want, where's your frequency? How do you feel when you're sitting in that lifestyle you say that you want? How do you feel when you're driving that car that you want? How do you feel when you're in that house that you want? When you have that partner that you want? How do you feel? That's not the same feeling you're giving yourself throughout the week. So why do you think that you're putting yourself in a space to attract that? You're not. You're repelling the shit out of that. Keep that in mind. You're in your own way. Your frequency is in your way of attracting what it is that you said you want. Now, if you meditate and you're visualizing yourself having more stress and more depression and more this and more that, then go on by all means. Keep your Sunday to Sunday exactly how it is. You're staying in that momentum that you want to be in, because all you visualize is how you can stay more detached and more lonely and da 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 da. But if you're once a day trying to compute your frequency to this space of what you want, what you deserve, and what you desire, and it's not in alignment with the frequency that you allow yourself to be in your everyday tasks, you are not attracting what it is that you want. You're fooling yourself if you think you are. Don't do that. That's my little tidbit, okay? Review the material given for the third stage of meditation, and if y'all join the book club, y'all get into that. We gotta bring the book club back first. Well, I don't know what God is doing. The practice of visualizing the emotionally charged situation related to our goals. The great deal of problem also arises from the ignorance of the function of the imagination. Did you know that the imagination, daydreaming, is an altered state of consciousness? It's an altered state of consciousness that often gets overlooked because it's not really being brought into the super depth of being of what actually is happening to you on a neurological level, on an energetic level. You know what I'm saying? Especially for those people who are quote unquote realists or more so scientists. You know, you guys want to think of it more so from a textbook educational point of view rather than spiritual or emotional. That's cool. I respect that. If you take a psychology course, you will learn that daydreaming is an altered state of consciousness, and it does affect the neurons in your brain, and thus does affect your electromagnetic field. It does. It's been tried, tested, and proven. The placebo effect is a perfect example. And the fact that we always have almost always desire to have a placebo control group in any type of experiment to show what the expectations are of a community that's receiving a certain kind of something and how effective the placebo is versus the actual thing itself, which is usually sometimes equal, especially in the space of medicine, believe it or not. But they're not going to tell you that because then they wouldn't make money off their medicines. So yeah, the depth of the effectiveness of your imagination is so astronomical. It's to the point where you can use your imagination to control your actual dreams, which is another altered state of consciousness that we've been taught that we can't control, especially from a psychological educational point of view. But you actually can if you use if you learn how to transmute your short-term memory and encode it into your long-term. Usually in your dreams you're digging into your long-term database, you know, past memories and stuff like that. You can affect that, you know. Meditation is a big thing. Anyway, people allow themselves to indulge in the visualization of emotionally charged imagery, positive or negative emotions and sensations, without realizing they are thus giving power of realization to unwanted and untenable situations. And I told you guys about that too. Focusing too much on what you don't want does not help you. You can't make a sandwich based upon what you don't want. You know what I'm saying? So be mindful of that you're still putting in your frequency those things, those events and stuff. When you're sad, right? When I'm sad, I don't like listening to sad music. I used to do that, and now that I'm older, I'm like, bro, that was so fucking weird. Why would I do? Why the fuck was I doing that? And then wondering why I couldn't get happy. When I'm sad now, being present and more aware, I want to listen to my positive affirmation music. I want to listen to happy sounds. I want to listen to the African jazz or house music or dance music or something that brings me joy. You know, I like songs with funny lyrics. I like songs like I like house music or club music, but like they're saying something crazy. Like what's that name? What's that guy's name? He be in New York and he just does the pop up um he does the pop-up shows, or he has his turntables out and he'll be like, it's nighttime, bitch, time for some nighttime shit. Like I like stuff like that. I listen to stuff like that, like especially when you're sad, because why would you want to listen to stuff that's going to pull you deeper into that vortex if that's not where you want to be? Now if that's where you want to be, like I said, do your business. But I think for a lot of you guys that's not where you want to be. All right. um be mindful of, you know, those things. Like sometimes when you're upset and you keep thinking on the situation and you feel it in your chest, you know what I'm saying, you feel it in your gut, you start to feel it in your neck and your back, like your body is starting to respond to those emotions. And for some reason, we allow ourselves to feel anger and sadness and hurt at a higher degree than we allow ourselves to feel joy. And because when we feel joy, it was like we gotta quiet down or diet down, or I can't share it with nobody, or I gotta be quiet about this, or I can't laugh too hard, can't open my mouth too loud, I gotta ha 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 ha, or I can't, like, I gotta be cute with the joy. You know what I'm saying? I can't really, and when you do that, you're doing yourself a disservice, because this is why they say, like, in survival and stuff like that, it's easier to remember like pain trauma and pass that down through the DNA than it is to remember like joy, those kind of traumatic events, like, happy trauma, you know what I'm saying, happy triggers, because we allow ourselves to feel the pain deeply. You know what I'm saying? We allow ourselves to wallow for days, weeks, sometimes months if we want to. We don't allow ourselves to sit and enjoy that long though. It's like, okay, I gotta hurry up and move on to the next thing. Or, oh, I'm not celebrating quite yet. This is not the whole thing. You know what I'm saying? It's not the whole picture, stuff like that. Or, like, I can't share my joy with people because somebody's watching. Okay, somebody's watching your pain too, crybaby. The fuck? like, like, who cares who's watching? That's another thing. You're giving strangers power on the internet. Like, if I share my joy, somebody's gonna speak ill and bad and da 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 da. Why are you giving them power? I speak my joy. I'm doing this. I'm doing it. I'm finishing up my psychology diploma. I've gotten my certificates. I'm gonna get some more. I'm qualifying myself to be, an art therapist in the 3D realm and a philosopher in the 3D realm. That's what we're moving towards. And as I speak my joy, nobody has the power to say, "Ooh, look at her doing stuff. I'm about to say some things that's going to get in the way." I'm not giving that power. You don't have power to get in the way of what it is that I'm doing or what I'm trying to do or what I'm speaking to existence. That's not, you just don't. Especially if you're a stranger. I would have to value you to an interpersonal level for you to have that kind of power. And I don't give that to anybody. I don't give that to, I've never given that power to people I do know. So that's something you have to be mindful of. Allow yourself to feel joy. Allow yourself to feel like unapologetic joy for as long as you want to feel it, You don't have to hurry up and cut it off. And then when it's time to be sad or angry, now it's, I'm holding this for years and decades until I die. Like, okay, that's cool. Sometimes, like, I think like a big way to like break certain generational things is start passing down joy triggers. Start to feel joy so deeply and pleasure so deeply that it's embedded in the DNA and passed down to the generations you give life to. That's a cool thing to do, something to think about, right? No. What do I know? Anyway, as the function of the Het Heru faculty is to organize the subtle forces of the animal spirit that are directly in control of physical phenomenon, it is especially susceptible to influence of the instincts, emotions, and sensuous energies. So some key phrases are love for, one is attracted to, failure to control one's attraction to, desire for, love for the external, from side of, reliance on one's beauty, grace, charm, be mindful of overindulgence, but love of ease, contentment, joyfulness, likes, dislikes, creativity, fertile imagination, sociableness, gentleness, cheerfulness, warmth, charm, and seduction. And that's fun on the day of 12. So we're on the path of 3, our emotional self, on a day of 7, in that space of balance. Now, astrologically, astronomically, happening in the cosmos, we are at 99% waxing gibbous moon rising at 7:31 p.m. and setting at 6:05 a.m. We are at 13 degrees Libra on the tropical. We are at 20 degrees Virgo on the Vedic. We are in Libra on the draconic chart, all in the 10th house of success. Yay, we are in the 10th house of success and achievements, right? That's that Capricorn energy. The different challenges that come in our space to give us strength. Sunrise at 6:25 a.m., sun setting at 7:35 p.m. We are at 22 degrees Aries, We are at 26, 27, 20, 28 degrees Pisces. And then we are in Aries on the draconic chart in the fourth house of home and family and nurturing energy. So we're starting to come across that mutable energy of Pisces with the sun. But yeah, it's in that space of nurturing home and family, which, as you guys notice, the sun cannot get out of the fourth house for the life of me. So, being in this year of 9 Yesod, that's ruled over by Cancer energy, the sun is being ruled over by that Cancer energy, giving us a home and family and sense of belonging experience during this year of 9. So you guys are starting to find your sense of belonging where you need it to be. Me, for one, I don't know what the fuck's going on. My Chiron is in Cancer. I'm just over here all over the place. I never feel like I belong anywhere. But I'm working on me. That's my personal shit. This and then Spica is opposite the sun at 12:39 p.m. This is the best visibility of the year. Spica is the star of harvest in the Virgo constellation. So Spica is on the forefront. What are y'all harvesting today, y'all? The moon and Spica are in conjunction at 8:09 p.m. tonight. So after the sun is on the putting the spotlight on Spica all day long, giving you guys the opportunity to feel, bask, go outside and ground yourself, put your feet in the soil. Imagine yourself catching the rays of Sirius star. I mean, not Sirius. I don't know why I said Sirius, but maybe Sirius too. Okay. Catching the rays of Spica star or whatever, and harvesting what you want, and then internalize that when the moon and Spica align. The conjunction is at 8:09 p.m. tonight. The moon will be 0.6 degrees south. Minimal angle at 7:42 p.m. The moon will be 0.5 degrees south southwest, and we'll be able to observe that tonight at 8:12 p.m. with a 0.6 degrees south separation. All right. Yes, I plan on harvesting Spica on video. Yes, please. I want to see it. Are you putting that on YouTube? Then the full moon is at 8:23 p.m. tonight. Like I told you guys, we're going to be in the Virgo constellation with the beginning of the full moon. The Earth. This is when the Earth is between the moon and the sun. This is also the pink moon because we start to see all the pretty, the pink flowers, the blossoming and all that stuff. It's spring flowers and it's fun here and it's pretty. And this is also like a Libra Virgo moon. So finding that balance, harmony, justice, and righteousness in those events of organizing and scheduling your moral and integral code. That's heavy here. The evening visibility of Libra begins. So we'll start to see, Libra constellation in the skies at the night. And it's a fun time here. So you guys enjoy that beautiful full moon. Just posted the blood moon. Pink moon should be beautiful. Yes, I agree. It definitely should be. 144, yeah. I like to move and move it. Listen, let me tell you, so in college, I was a big fan of that song. And I was blasting that joint one night, trying to keep myself awake, driving from campus back home after work. Cause I worked in dietary first thing in the morning. I did classes throughout the day, and then late at night I was bartending. How I did it, I don't fucking know. I probably could do it now too, but I'll definitely crash out after like 3 days. But I was trying to keep myself awake driving down the highway, and I was blasting that song, and that's how I got pulled over. I didn't realize I was swerving. A cop pulled me over, and I still had the music blasting because I didn't care. I wasn't doing anything wrong. And he was like, "What's going on? Like, you're driving so crazy." And I was like, "I'm trying to stay awake." I love the song. He let me go or whatever. He was laughing at me. But yeah, that definitely was my jam. That was my jam. So happy pink full moon to you guys. Enjoy the Virgo Libra moon tonight. Tomorrow on 4/13/9, the karmic day. You know what I'm saying? Starting our day on taking action and having knowledge on how we express ourselves, our sense of understanding, creation, and emotions. Which brings us to 4, chested energy, creating a foundation on that. We start that day off in a full moon, and that full at that point we'll be in Libra all across the board. Okay, so we'll be in Libra on tropical, Vedic, and draconic. So enjoy the last little bit of Virgo moon on the beginning stages of the full moon tonight, because by the end we're going to be straight in Netzach. We're going to be straight in creating that balance, the justice scales of Mayat with Libra, law, justice, truth, and righteousness, focusing on your interpersonal relationships, that air energy. So we're harvesting it today. Move into that space of balance by the evening. Definitely starting it off heavy tomorrow. It's all in the 10th house, in the space of success and achievements. As far as pain goes, be mindful of stomach pain, blindness, wounds, joint pain, and bone fractures. That is the 10th house disease ruler. And yeah, this is the height of your success, your public image, your professional aspirations and career achievements. You might feel encouraged to make a change in your professional life. So if you guys feel some changes, some doors closing and opening in that space too, you know, go for it. Why not? But that's what we have on that karmic energy of 13. That brings us to the 4 of the divine blueprint. We put it into the month of 4 with the divine blueprint, which is going to bring us to 8. So tomorrow and Sunday is, we're definitely going to experience transformations as you guys really stand, you know, 8 toes down. Four toes on each foot, whatever you want to do. But as you guys really stand on, you know, your divine blueprint, and, you know, you guys are going to have to speak some things into existence, move some things into existence, express, you know, the desire for that boundary and that balance, right? Transformations will occur, and then we're going to take those transformations and give birth to them, right? And that's going to bring us to, okay, you can have this 8, you can have this 8 of standing on business and being in your power and willpower and transformation, all that stuff like that. But you know, you're going to focus on that 1 and 7 to have it, which is, you know, taking knowledge and taking action on that 7, on the balance scales. You know what I'm saying? If you really want those transformations on those interpersonal relationships, those bonds and contracts and stuff. And it's fun there. Astronomically speaking, on Sunday, like I said, we start off the day with the full moon in Libra in the 10th house all across the board. The sun is going to be at 23 degrees Aries, 29 on the Vedic. So we have one more day of Aries constellation, Pisces constellation. So tomorrow might be a little difficult to stay in tune with that dreamy subconscious realm, because it's going to start being events that's going to have you start moving in action with all the things. Like, I don't want to rush you guys, but like today and tomorrow are like big days. These are like the last moments of really manifesting and being in your dreamy subconscious energy of like what to do, what's going on, whatever. Because come Monday, it's gonna be like, yeah, it's time for some action. Especially on that day 1 and 4, which is 5, is the day of enforcement. And it adds up to 9. So we're gonna have like 3 9s on Monday. It's so exciting. Okay, so like. Yeah, enjoy today and tomorrow, you know, with manifesting the things in your space, for real, for real. We'll have the AM visibility of Mercury beginning at night, and then the moon will be the furthest distance to the Earth, which we call Pagi in astronomical. Why would you open the door? But that's what's happening on Sunday. And so those are the last couple of days of the moon being in Pisces constellation with the subconscious dreamy energies. That's really cool. So that's it for the numerology, astrology, astronomy thing. I want to get into the calendar, because I know I'm super behind on the calendar. I ain't been here in a couple days. So you guys already know we're in the year of 9. This is the year of gold on the alchemy horoscope. We're still in no we're not. No we're not. I need to update stuff. We are in the energy of Thoth till the 19th. This is the god of learning, wisdom, romantic, courageous, learning, wise, energetic, inventive, practical, and wise, motivating and inspiring others. So we enjoy Thoth. We'll be in Horus until afterwards. April 20th, we'll enter Horus, you know, the sky god. So you guys can get high with the sky god on 420. And that's so funny, because that's actually Passover this year on the day we start Horus energy on the 420. Oh, so high. Alexa, play John Legend, So High. And we're there till May 7th. So that's that happening there. And then as far as the African horoscope goes, again, another thing I haven't updated on my PowerPoint. Guys, We're in the energy of the Falcon until April 19th. Another transition we're going to experience on April 20th when we enter the Beaver. But Aries, this is Aries Red Hawk energy, having strength, being a great observer, never losing ability to see things as a whole, being quick, active, and overwhelmingly energetic. So be mindful of your overwhelming self. Um, we're in the energy of the Alder until the 14th, which is the Trailblazer, being romantic, brave, and generous, natural born leader. And of course, you guys know we're in the energy of the Wood Snake for the whole year. This is the period of transformation, creativity, wisdom, and unpredictability. Being flexible and diplomatic, opportunities amongst challenges, and physical vitality and passion are keys here. Saturday is ruled by Saturn, and we love it here. Saturn rules over the root chakra, also known as the Muladhara, the root existence. This is the earth element, dealing with the number 4, the 4-petaled lotus, located at the base of your spine. Brings the vibes of being grounded, discipline, order, and boundaries, authority, survival of self, and your basic resources are keys today. 432 and 396 hertz is the keys. A note for my sound makers: red wavelength 700 to 635 nm. Lam and A vowel sound are the hakals, like Saturn or Babylon rules over the root chakra. The internal side is Aquarius. This is the first Sephirah, the first sphere. This is unity and the power to be one with self. Like, how your place in society, your attachment or detachment in society, those double connections and how they are will ultimately result in the Capricorn, which rules over the external side of the root chakra, which is Seker or Ta, which is the power and underlining structure. So your connection to society, your auric body, your thoughts, how you label different people, places, things, situations, and identities and entities in your society are resulted in your Capricorn energy, your sense of success, authority, challenges that come into your space because you put them in your aura to begin with. We talked about that a lot. I won't go into it again, but it's all fun there. So that's that there. Bro, I think I'm King Julian from Madagascar. Lose my drive song for real. Yo, King Julian did it best though. I'm not gonna hold you. He did it best. Pink moon is also the awakening of Paschal or egg or breaking ice moon. Little fun fact. Ooh, cool. I didn't know about the Paschal part. But I know it's like the next moon up from the worm moon, because the worm moon was like, okay, the soil is not frozen anymore. You guys can come outside a little bit more. But now it's like flowers are blooming. Yay, love you. Alright. I'm trying to find the nakshatra that the moon will be in for the pink situation, so you guys know specifically what situation. I'm gonna start getting the nakshatras down, put it into the padas too, but give me grace on that because my to-do list is kind of chunky right now, as usual. So we're starting off in the Shitra nakshatra, which is the 14th, and is ruled by Mars and associated by Vishvakarma, the divine architect and craftsman of the god. It's considered the nakshatra of beauty, art, and creativity, and visual expression, transformation, and aesthetic mastery. Virgo's practical nature blends in Libra's pursuit of balance, harmony, and beauty, making Shitra a nakshatra of creative expression and artistic transformation. The symbol is a precious gem or a pearl, which represents beauty, perfection, and aesthetic value. The gem represents the potential for inner brilliance and transformation, symbolizing a refined, pristine expression of creativity and elegance. The deity is Vishvakarma, the divine architect and master craftsman of the gods. Like I said, Mars is the ruler, bringing dynamic and fire energy to the nakshatra, representing action, passion, courage, and determination. La la la. When the moon is here, there is often a strong desire to engage in creative activities. It's an excellent time to express yourself through art, design, or any form of visual creativity. People are more in touch with their aesthetic sense and may feel compelled to beautify their surroundings or produce art. This is a time where people are inspired to create or innovate in ways that feel deeply transformational. Whether working in personal projects or professional settings, individuals with the moon as Shitra may feel motivated and bring change. So that's how we're starting, that's how we're kicking off the full moon. Um, Probably like between today and tomorrow, we'll end up in Swati, which is the 15th nakshatra, which goes from 6 degrees Libra to 20 degrees Libra. And that's ruled by Rahu, which is the north node. Hey, Buddha, peace. Um, and the deity Vayu, the god of wind. And Swati is considered a nakshatra of independence, flexibility, adaptability, and personal freedom. It's also connected to communication, movement, and exploration. Um, the position in Libra connects Swati to aesthetic, artistic, and social qualities. So still bringing you guys into that energy of art and creation. So shout out to my artists out there, my creators and expressioners. And then, like I said, like we're experiencing threes between today and tomorrow too. Today is a day of three that brings us to 7, which is the celestial designer or whatever. And then tomorrow is a day of 1 and 3. So taking action on that 3, which ultimately is going to bring us to I don't know, I was going to wing that some type of way. But we get into 8 transformations and rebirth. But, we still experience those 3s of creation and expression. So that's pretty cool. The moon in Swati, there's often a strong desire to break free from restrictions, whether personal, social, or professional. This is a time when people may need to follow their own path, explore new avenues, and assert their independence. The moon's influence in Swati can make individuals more adaptable and open to change. So tomorrow is a day of 8 transformations. So there we go. It's a time to embrace new opportunities and to allow oneself to flow with changing circumstances of life. So that's something to keep in mind there for that. Guys, know we are in the month of pecans. And the Kemetic calendar, it's ruled by Ra, the sun god, and this is the final period of the growing season before the harvest begins. So we're almost out of the season of Peret, y'all. We about to be in the season of harvest, which is Shemu. We are in the energy of Nisan, which is spring. This is the first month of the Hebrew calendar, the Rago of spring, symbolizing renewal and freedom. It's the month of Passover, the holiday that commemorates the exodus of Israelites from Egypt. It's the time of liberation, spiritual rebirth, and the start of the Jewish people's journey to freedom. And that's a good time. And then we are also, we're entering that energy of Mesha, in the Hindu zodiacs, or Hindu horoscope, because we're getting out of Meena constellation within the next 2 days, which is the Pisces, right? As far as today goes, today's the Sabbath. You guys already know. Tomorrow is Yom Rishon, which is the first day, Sunday. So coming into the Sabbath, this is the day of rest, y'all. This is the day in the Bible, Genesis 21:3, when God rested from his work of creation. Sabbath is considered the holiest day of the week, a day of rest, reflection, and spiritual rejuvenation. Connection with God and a time for family and community is heavy today. In the Hindu calendar, this is the day of Shanivar, ruled by Lord Shani, which is Saturn. Shani is associated with karma, discipline, justice, and life lessons. Saturn as a planet represents challenges, hard work, and responsibility. So that's that for there. And so let's get into the astrology hours. Greener, other side. What's up with you? Yes, and soon we're done here. Kai's going to sleep. Felt. I have to get my child up so that he can get ready to go to his father's. All right, y'all. So today we start off with the hours of Saturn. So because I'm not going to see you guys tomorrow, well, I'll probably see you guys tomorrow, but I'll be talking about Monday. I'll talk about Sunday a little bit too. I don't know. We'll see how it goes. Okay, I'm flowing a little bit right now, but the planetary hour, according to what do I be using? The word escaped my mind. Where'd it go? I don't know, but it'll come back to me in a moment. The order is Chaldean. Chaldean order is Saturn, Jupiter, Mars, Sun, Venus, Mercury, and Moon. That's the Chaldean order, okay? So Saturn's hours, of course, it's a Saturn day. So we start off midnight at Saturn, 12 a.m. to 1 a.m., 7 a.m. to 8 a.m., 2 p.m. to 3 p.m., and 9 p.m. to 10 p.m. are the hours of Saturn. You know, Saturn is about long-term planning, you know, paying attention to the different challenges and things that come into our space. Saturn is sitting over there in Pisces on the tropical and the draconic. It's in the third house of community and communication. um and that Gemini energy of learning to be focused, some challenges coming into you guys focus. It's going to be a whole bunch of things that look good and smell good and all this stuff like that, and that is to be try to deter you from what it is that you said you want to do. You know, discipline and order, boundaries, and discipline of self, all that is important. I forgot about his coat. No, it's okay. It's all right. He survived. He don't go outside like that too much anyway. He, you know, we don't like the cold. Jupiter's hours are from 1 a.m. to 2 a.m., 8 a.m. to 9 a.m., 3 p.m. to 4 p.m., and then 10 p.m. to 11 p.m. Jupiter also deals with long-term planning, but more so in the business sense. Jupiter deals with your space of joy, generosity, tapping into your wisdom from the oracle and sages. So going to your altar for energies outside of yourself, like the ancestors and deities and your gods and all lots of stuff, is probably a good time for Jupiter hour. Jupiter is over there in Gemini in the seventh house, finding, so it's in the space of community, law, justice, truth. So hopefully bringing expansion and abundance to the community, to your space of connection, bringing truth, bringing justice, all that fun stuff. And we love Jupiter for doing that for us. Gang, gang. Mars hours are from 2 a.m. to 3 a.m., 9 a.m. to 10 a.m., 4 p.m. to 5 p.m., 11 p.m. to midnight. Mars is about your assertive, aggressive self, what motivates you, what triggers you, what gets you going. The solar plexus chakra. You might want to engage in some physical activity, some sexual activities. Anything that brings power, empowerment, or willpower. You know, dealing with your gut health is heavy. Oh, and Jupiter is dealing with your mind health and your sacral chakra health, and then Saturn is dealing with your bone health. If you want to, you know, do that. Saturn also deals with muscles too, muscles, bone, teeth, whatever. Jupiter is your mind, your nerves, your neurons, and Mars is your gut. Okay. And your blood flow, and blood pressure, and blood sugar, and all that stuff. Might be a good time of fasting or being intentional when you break fast, stuff like that. But that's for Mars. Mars is sitting over there tropically and Vedically in Cancer, giving you, you know, calling on you to nurture your solar plexus chakra, have more introspection on your solar plexus chakra. Pay attention when you're coming out of yourself with that, and your sense of control and your space of confidence. It is in the eighth house of transformations. So, you know, a lot of transformations are happening there to test your solar plexus chakra, you know, your willpower, you know, coming across different people that's going to play on that to see how strong you are, how strong-willed you are, and if you're going to try to control things outside of yourself or try to control yourself. The sun's hours are from 3 a.m. to 4 a.m., 10 a.m. to 11 a.m., 5 p.m. to 6 p.m., and then midnight. The sun deals with your experiences, your vitality, your energy, sense of expression, your outward look self, how your masculine energy interacts with the masculine energy around you. The sun is in Aries, Pisces energy, so mindset is on new beginnings, taking action and being motivated, while your energy exchanges is on that space of being subconscious and dreamy like. Still manifesting, bringing things to a close, and that's happening in the space of nurturing and home and family and a sense of belonging in that fourth house. Venus hours are from 4 a.m. to 5 a.m., 11 a.m. to 12 p.m., and then 6 p.m. to 7 p.m. Venus hours are for creativity, making things all pretty, the celestial designers. This is the space of business, you know, working on your business stuff, as Venus deals with wealth, finances as well. Find that balance between the material and emotional realm, right? Venus is stationary at the moment. I think it starts going prograde tomorrow, but right now we had a standstill. So all the things that you're trying to gravitate to in your vortex or whatever, just be patient, because we're not, it's done being in retrograde, but right now we're still. But it's happening in Pisces. So being, you know, in that dreamy like state, you know, utilizing your imagination, everything we went over, being on the day of 7 and the Netaroos and stuff like that. I will definitely focus on that today. Mercury's hours are from 5 a.m. to 6 a.m., 12 p.m. to 1 p.m., and then 7 p.m. to 8 p.m. Mercury deals with your daily routines, your more integral goal. Mercury hours are good for community, communication, trading, if you're into trading, and traveling as well. Dealing with that Gemini energy. Mercury is sitting over in Pisces as well. It's in the third house of community and communication. So, like speaking into existence the things that you want in your space, manifesting that in that realm and stuff is definitely good keys. The moon's hours from 6 a.m. to 7 a.m., 1 p.m. to 2 p.m., and then 8 p.m. to 9 p.m. The moon deals with home and family, nurturing, the maternal energy, your sense of belonging. So, focusing on those things, focusing on your emotional self, those are good things to do during those hours. The moon, like I said, is sitting over there in Libra Virgo right now before it goes into Libra all across the board between like midnight and tomorrow. Um, Focus, nurturing your interpersonal relationships, nurturing your bonds and your contracts, finding a sense of order, having that balance between like the celestial technician, which is labeling and compartmentalizing, and that celestial designer, which helps everything kind of flow and still come to a sense of oneness, in a sense, is all keys. So those are the celestial hours. I need a secretary or something. I need a secretary too. I need somebody to do all the online stuff. It's been taking me so long to schedule my posts because every time I pick up my phone, I'm like, I don't want to do this. um, so the overall theme for today is destiny, which is echinacea. I don't know if you guys ever tried echinacea. It's pretty good in a tea, but that's good for your mindset as well. I like the balance between the sun and the moon, the above and below. And then we got the pink flowers. Yay. But we're focusing on our Jupiter and Pluto transformations to our sacral chakra, what brings us joy, finding empowerment in our sacral chakra brings us joy, bringing us back into alignment to the 7 energy we read today. This is 3-0, so creation and expression emotions in our space. And the vibe up here is destiny. And then I also like that, like, even in the above and below, like you have Tiamat right here. That's the snake that's biting his tail in the middle, that's keeping it all together between like the flowers and the roots that are growing in the night and the darkness. That's really cool. And this is a nice revelation for the pink flowers, because we see the pink flowers, we see the pink moon. It's like, oh, this is so beautiful. We got to keep in mind and give thanks to all the things that grew during the darkness when we were in the winter solstice. We were in between that break between the autumn equinox and the winter solstice, which is in opposition right now, because now we're in the spring equinox, making our way to the summer solstice, right? So we give thanks to everything that grew, that was growing through that quarter, because now we get to bask in it, especially as we come into the Aries sun. We're about to, I don't know about you guys, but my New Year's doesn't happen until Monday, when the sun enters Aries. So now we're about to have new beginnings in our experiences and our events. And for the next few days, we'll be in Aries energy all across the board, tropical, Vedic, and draconic up until the 20th. That's really exciting, right? And so, having all that, hey, hidden. So, having those new beginnings, we still give insight and give thanks to the things that had to happen in the darkness and the soil beneath everything for us to be able to experience, the springtime, the sunlight, and all that stuff like that. Like, both are necessary, both are in cycle, and both are infinite, right? It's destiny, echinacea is destiny. We love that. And you guys focus on your Jupiter and Pluto connection. Find power in your joy. If you're not exhibiting or exhuming or oozing joy and happiness with whatever it is that you're engaging in, it's not worth it. And as I look down at the other cards I pulled, I'm like, oh shit, this is kind of cool. Anyway, to elaborate, we are on the 8 of Wands, transformations in your actions, empowerment on your actions. See them? They're moving up in the yellow in the solar plexus chakra, and they look like they're in more joy, confidence. What I'm saying, than these down here, a little darker in color. But yeah, transformations happening in your actions. What I'm saying, especially as we move from the dark, down here, see that, correlation up into more of the springtime, the light, right? Judgment. I pulled this card last time I was with you guys too, and I was like, we gotta come out of that judgment space. What I'm saying? Before it was like judgment other people and worried about what they're thinking and stuff like that, which was thus a reflection of ourselves. But now it's more so like focusing on ourselves and how we're judging ourselves and different things. Also focusing on your sense of self-worth in the solar plexus chakra. In the sacral chakra. What I'm saying? What do you deserve? You deserve what you desire. You deserve what brings you joy. What I'm saying? Self-worth. And some of you guys have to have a conversation about that. Like, what am I worthy of? What is my value and stuff? The next card I have is the Queen of Wands, which is water and fire, which is the connection between your emotions, how you feel, you feeling good about it, and fire, which is your actions. Okay. Sorry, TikTok. It's the background. But being in that Queen of Wands, being in charge of your actions, we love it here. And be mindful of being greedy, because that's what Jupiter, sometimes that's what the sacral chakra can do. It can bring you into a space of overindulgent. You're overengaging. You're coming into the space of obsessions and addictions. And we don't want to have an overactive sacral chakra. Like, we don't want to go too far. But in the same breath, we do want to have that sense of balance. Balance is a key in all things. You know what I'm saying? We don't want overactive, because overactivity, that brings the diabetes and the high, the high, too high things. And now we have, overactivity and over, indulgence. We have more than what we need. Then, we know how that backs up things, hoarding and all that stuff like that. But you know what you deserve. You know what you're worth. You know what I'm saying? And it just involves, better judgment in your interpersonal relationships, bonds and contracts and different things you're getting into. Easing up like the negative judgment on things, but also like standing your ground, because you guys are creating your celestial blueprints on the fours, right? This is the month of four. So standing your ground on the different laws and orders and actually implementing that judgment, right? Transformations in your actions, And that's what I have for you guys today. I really enjoyed today. Appreciate you guys. If you would like a personal reading, feel free to reach out. Hey, nerdy black man. I love what I do, and I'm really good at what I do, and I do it all day long. So I also am now on the Mystic Sense platform. So if you guys don't want to do like the set times like I have on my packages, on my tiers, the Mystic Sense, what they do is they charge per minute, whatever. So like if you just want to put like a certain amount of money up, and you have access to me, do your reading through that, and it's a fun time there. So stop eating the Keebler cookies. Kai. Jesus Christ. I broke my waist beads the other day. I don't know what's going on. I broke my waist beads. This morning I broke my waist beads, and I was like, oh my God. Oh my God. Oh, these two. They empty. You know what's been my stack the last couple of weeks? It's been like a little smorgasbord with like turkey, pepperoni, olives, the little Cosmo tomatoes that's different colors, and crackers. And then the hummus, the pepper, the red pepper hummus. Oh my God, it's crack. Put all that together and I'll put it all in my mouth at the same time. Yeah, I've been eating that for the last 2 weeks. I don't really be eating food. That's all I'm eating. And then yeah. Between me and my sister cooking and stuff like that, yeah, I'm eating. I had to work out. Bro, I ate all the Dominoes too. Listen, Jupiter is Jupiter. I was like, what is going on? Why do I eat like this? Yesterday I was eating and I'm like, bro, I really don't need to eat. I'm just sitting here doing stuff. And eating doesn't need to be the thing I'm doing. I need to schedule these damn posts. I don't know what's going on. And the fact that I even had the empty snack things around the computer, like you already know the vibes. You already know the vibes. I'm gonna eat like a grape or something. Your mouth be lonely sometimes. Japanese saying, yeah, like I'm stuck in the oral phase of life or something. I guess that can make sense. Needs food. Feed me, Seymour. Yes, man, me too. Hummus by the buttload. Yeah, and then like I was eating the Sabera hummus for a minute, but then I discovered this other hummus. Oh, baby, I've been deprived. I forget the name brand of that joint, but it's top tier. I'll probably take a picture of it and post it on Instagram. I ate the Doritos too. All right, y'all. I'm gonna let y'all go because I gotta do stuff, and I just got I'm 10 minutes away. Text message, and I didn't do anything yet. But I'll see you guys later. Peace, y'all.